Early. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Carol J. Dunlop, your online wild strategist and four-time Amazon best-selling author. How are you doing? This is Wow Website Wednesday. I come on every Wednesday at 1 usually, but today there was just a lot going on. I needed to do it a little bit later, but I did not want to forget this because I have some great announcements for you, and this is really important because today we're talking about how to know if your site has been hacked. Believe me, there's a lot of hacking, a lot of malware, a lot of craziness going on, and you don't want to be caught in the dark and not know what's going on with your site. So I'm gonna give you the 411, all the details, so you can, you know, excuse me, so you can get your site together. And if it has been hacked, that you can take care of it, and I'll tell you how to do that. So let's start off by saying oh, and I have a really cool announcement to make at the end of this. So let's start off by saying that hacking is an intrusion. It's unwanted, unsuspected, and unneeded. It is carried out by a combination of people and bots. And the bots are, computers that they train to look for vulnerable websites or vulnerable servers so they can get in there and do damage. Sometimes the damage is just for a ha-ha, you know how they say and giggles. And sometimes the damage is really, really bad, where they go in and they lock all your stuff down and you can't get a hold of it. And they try to ransom, it's called ransomware, and they try to call you and say, hey, if you pay us this amount of money, we'll let your information go. And it kind of all depends on what kind of information they think that you have. And sometimes these things just go out randomly. They're not really targeting anybody in particular. They're just out there hacking away. And sometimes you don't even know. Your website may look good on the outside, it may look fine, but for some reason it's not operating like it should, or some other things are going on, or somebody lets you know something's going on crazy. So these are some ways that you can, I'm going to show you 5 ways that you can see if to let you know, I'm sorry, to let you know, let me slow down, that your site has been hacked. Now, I want to let you know that anyone underscore all caps, boldface type in red, anyone can be hacked. Any website can be hacked. There is not a I'll never be hacked. I'm too safe. I'm impenetrable. That doesn't happen. And if you think it's happening, if you think that you're like that, I got something else to tell you because it ain't true. I'm just going to tell you it ain't true right now. Look at some of the recent big hacks that have happened. And this has been in the last couple of years, and some of them have been like this year. So the city of Atlanta, where I live and breathe, Atlanta, Georgia, that city was hacked, and that ransomware that hit them was going to charge them $50,000 to get that information back. They did not pay it, but I'm telling you, they spent about $5 million trying to get their infrastructure up to par so that it won't happen again. So I don't want you to go through that because, really, if I had to spend $50,000 to get my information back, honey, I'll just make some more information. I ain't got time to be doing that. Microsoft Exchange. Do y'all anybody uses Microsoft Outlook or any of the Microsoft products, or you're at work and you use Microsoft Exchange? That was hacked. That affected 60,000 victims, had at least 60,000 victims. You know how many millions of people use Microsoft Exchange in their business, and it was hacked, and now their information is out there? Oh my gosh. And that, Microsoft, if you think about Microsoft, you think about the godfather of technology. What? How did they get hacked? And then the last one is CNA, which is America's one of America's largest insurance agencies. We're talking insurance agencies. You give people all your credentials and the things that they need. You got, all kind of stuff, and now they're hacked. So those are just three of the, like, I think 20 that have happened just this year alone. And this year isn't even 8 months old. Well, it's just not turned 8 months old. What? Oh my goodness. So if all those things with all that security, all those layers and layers and layers and layers of security can be hacked, your little old website can definitely be hacked. How do I know? Because our website was hacked. Once we got yeah. And hacking can be like anywhere from a malware insertion, and malware is malicious code. malicious code, you don't see it. It's behind the scenes, and it's a bunch of junk code they put into something to make your website do something or make your website not do something. That's malware. And all of that stuff is just a hindrance to you doing business because it stops, because you got to take care of it. And sometimes if you don't get to the root of whatever it is, it just keeps reproducing just like rabbits and stuff. So let's get on this so I can show you, so you can recognize if you've been hacked. Number one, the number one way you know if your website's been hacked, it doesn't look at it as it should. It may be just a little bit off, or you may go up to your website and you see porn all over your website, or a big message on your site or something like that. Or maybe your site's locked down, you can't even get into it. That is the number one clue that something is going on behind the scenes with your site. Number two, you can't log into your website. Now, WordPress is bad for this. I love WordPress. I've been a WordPress developer, customized websites and stuff for going on now, well, since 2005. So y'all add that up. So it's been a long time. And the beauty of WordPress is that it is a free operating system that you put on a server, and you can parcel it out, and it's very easy for businesses to use, right? And it's easy and free. Those are two number one things that hackers look for: easy and free. So it has all these people, all these developers who are making all this software to make WordPress run like it does. But what happens is there are also as many or more hackers who are trying to infiltrate and find the weaknesses. That's why you got to keep it updated. You got to keep your plugins updated. You got to keep your core updated, and you got to be on the lookout for malware and any kind of hacks, because they can just sneak in there. They know the vulnerabilities and they can sneak in there at any moment in time. So you got to be watching for that. And so if your website looks a little off, pictures aren't right, or you can't log into your site, and especially if you have a WordPress site and you try to log in and you put your login in and it just shakes, you know how it does, like shake, like, no, that's the wrong password, and you try it again, it don't work. Like, I've been using this password forever, and it is a good password. It's very secure, and I can't get in. And then you try to reset your password, and you never get the information. Or when it comes back, you try to do it again, and it says, okay, that user is not found. Definitely something is going on. So number one thing, stop trying to get into your site, because you're not going to be able to do it. And you need to contact someone like us and say, hey, I think my site's been hacked, so we can get in. There are other ways to get in. And sometimes, even with WordPress, they may just hack that little part that is WordPress, but they haven't hacked the whole public piece of the website, the part that showcases your website to people. They haven't hacked that part, so they're just in WordPress itself. So sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. If they go outside of that, then it's a deeper hack. It's like a deep, deep cut, like slit, and then you got to go all beyond the folds of skin and stuff to try to get stuff out. But usually, most likely, it is a surface level hack. But the thing is, if they get in that database and they get down deep in that database, it sometimes you just are better off just deleting the whole database and starting all over again. I hate to say that, but sometimes you have to. All right, number three, if you are like a next level next level website person, and you know that WordPress sits inside of your actual website, and then there's WordPress that runs it. So there's a cPanel that controls it. WordPress runs your site, but cPanel controls everything. It's like God access to your site, right? So you go into your cPanel and you're looking at your files and stuff, and you're like, what's this XYZXC45.php? What is that? That is not a WordPress file. That needs to be deleted immediately. And sometimes when you're in cPanel and you try to delete the thing, it just comes right back. That means they got a algorithm running that allows you not, that keeps you from deleting that thing. So you have to get in other ways. So that's the third way. If you are a cPanel, and if you know what I'm talking about, if you can access your cPanel, which is where you can, create your emails and your scripts and things like that. And if you can do that and you see some funky files in there, you've been hacked. Number four, your bandwidth is outrageously high. Now, bandwidth is how can I explain this? Bandwidth is what keeps your website going. It's the amount. It's how your website how your server shows your website to people like visitors. Like people can take down a website. You heard it, they took down our website because there were too many people and the website crashed. There were too many people going to. A bandwidth is the thing that regulates that. How much traffic is going to your site, how much images and content and all that stuff is served up on the front of your website, right? And so if your bandwidth, and most people's bandwidth, because unless you're a big site and you have millions of people coming to your website, you're a small fry, and you got maybe a couple of hundred, a couple thousand people that are coming to your website every month, and then you're looking in your bandwidth. Say this is how it usually is. It's like this. Make it a little bit higher. You're running a special, get a little bit higher. But now you see your bandwidth is all the way up here. Something's going on. Some malware is there. Somebody's inserted something into there. It could be a robot, a bot that has done it, because a bot does a lot of this stuff. Humans don't really do it. They just program it and let it go. So something's going on if your bandwidth is very, very high. And it will shut down your site too. As I had one of our clients, their site got shut down because their bandwidth was too high. So bandwidth is really, really important. You probably have never thought about it ever in your life, but you need to think about it now. And if your site, you go up there and it says bandwidth is too high, or you're over your limit, you got some problems. All right, and then number 5, the last one, and nobody wants this one. If your ISP or the place that you host your site says, "Hey, something's going on with your site," and we've changed all your login information to protect you, or we're shutting your site down, then you definitely know there's some issues going on, because an ISP or your hosting provider will definitely shut your site down and lock it into a container, because what will happen, that infection will spread out of that little container that your website is in and get to the whole server, and they can't have that because that's going to shut them down. So they will shut down your own website to really protect them. So those 5 things again: your website, number 1, your website doesn't look as it should. It looks just kind of off, or something's kind of funky with it. Could be a hacking job. Number 2, you can't log in with your password. It's the same password you have. You haven't changed anything, but it won't let you in. Something's up. Number 3, you go to your cPanel and you see some funky looking files that start with X's and O's and Z's and they don't make any sense. You're like, probably a hacking thing going on. Number 4, your bandwidth is incredibly high, or your site is shut down because your bandwidth is so high. And if you think about it, maybe you're launching something, or you just put a program out or something and you have some high bandwidth. That could happen, right? But if you haven't been doing anything and all of a sudden your bandwidth is up to the top, that's a sure sign of being hacked, or some malware's gotten in there. And number 5, the one no one wants to get, is that message from your ISP that tells you, "Hey, we've noticed some crazy activity on your site, or some suspicious activity on your site, and we've had to lock it down, shut it down, change passwords, whatever." Nobody wants to hear that stuff, but unfortunately, it does happen. So you might say, "Carol, okay, you've told me all this stuff. So what do I do if this happens?" So the number one thing I want you to do is contact us, because we can take care of your site, fix it, make it, good again. It's going to cost you something, because none of these hacks are easy to get rid of. It costs time, it costs effort, it costs resources and stuff, and none of them are the same. Even if this, just say Crazy Time, or it was Anonymous Fox virus, hit 2 websites, they're not going to put the same stuff on there, or it's not going to, because one site may be more vulnerable than the other one. So I want you to get with me. Whew, click the link that's down below, and it says schedule your online wow, but it's really a way for us to talk, so that we can see what's up with your site, and I can get in, and you can give me the credentials so we can get in and we can see what's going on. So if you don't care about your site, you're just like, "Okay, I have to shut that down and start over," then you don't have to call me at all. Just get rid of your stuff, shut it down. You don't have to worry about it. But if you do want to try to save your stuff, then connect with me. All right. The other thing it does, when you sign up for this online WOW assessment, you will get on my list, and you need to be on my list, because guess what? The Unmarketing Academy is getting ready to launch in about 2 weeks. And at the same doggone time, I am launching Take Action August. Take Action August is all about taking action and getting some money pumped into your business, getting some clients in your and getting some new clients and making sure that you are seen as the authority to your in your niche or industry. So this is a free challenge. It's going to go for I'd say 10 days, 2 weeks. I'll just say 2 weeks. It's going to go for 2 weeks, and every day I have something for you to do. Some great challenges that you need to do that will bring you more money, more clients, and more authority. So when you sign up, you'll get on my list and you will be alerted so that you can get in on this Take Action August. Like I said, it's totally free. You need to do it. If you're having issues with your website, go ahead and click that link right there. That will put you on the list. And then when you get the next email that comes out, you will have the opportunity to get in on the launch list so you can find out more about the Unmarketing Academy, and also get into Take Action August so you can make some money, money, money. We're all about making money, right? And you need to get that website fixed. If you went through your site and you're like, some of these things sound familiar, then you need to get it taken care of sooner. I hate this phrase, sooner than later. It ain't no later, it's now. If you want to salvage your site, your files, and all that, get in on this online wow thing right now and let us know. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, schedule, schedule, schedule. You don't have to lose your website if you don't want to. We can help you take care of it and put it back on track. All right, thanks. And I will see you next time.